Belichick criticizes Jets' decision to fire Saleh. In a recent appearance on ESPN with Peyton and Eli Manning, Bill Belichick didn't hold back when discussing the New York Jets' decision to fire head coach Robert Saleh after just 5 games this season. Reflecting on the Jets' long history of struggles, Belichick remarked, "They've barely won over 30% in the last 10 years. The owner being the owner. Just ready. Fire. Aim." Saleh, who was hired in 2021, finished his tenure with a record of 20-36 and never achieved a winning season. Jets owner Woody Johnson defended the decision, citing a talented roster and a need for change to maximize the team's chances of winning. Belichick, who has a long-standing rivalry with the Jets since his days as the head coach of the Patriots, praised Saleh's contributions, stating he established a strong culture and competitiveness within the team. He added, "Coach Saleh did a good job with that program. They're probably not that far away from winning." As the Jets navigate this coaching change, Belichick's insights highlight the ongoing challenges the franchise faces in pursuit of success. NFL Week 6. Did the Cowboys give Jerry Jones the worst birthday gift? Every week in the NFL brings new questions and answers. And Week 6 was no exception. Let's dive into what we learned and what we're still pondering as we head into Week 7. Asked, is it possible to give Jerry Jones a worse birthday present? What do you get a billionaire football owner for his 82nd birthday? How about a humiliating 47-9 loss to the Detroit Lions? That's exactly what the Cowboys delivered to Jerry Jones, wrapped in disappointment and tied with a blue and silver bow. With the highest paid player in the league and a massive fanbase, the Cowboys are still struggling to put a competitive team on the field. It's a tough pill to swallow for a franchise that hasn't seen a Super Bowl win in decades. While it's easy to blame the players, let's not forget who's calling the shots, Jerry himself. In a league obsessed with winning now, it's time for Dallas to rethink their approach before it's too late. Answered. So much for the Saints. Remember when the Saints' offense looked like a playoff contender? Well, that dream took a nosedive with a staggering 51-27 defeat to the Buccaneers. Starting rookie Spencer Rattler was thrown into the fire, and losing star receiver Chris Olave didn't help matters. With their postseason hopes slipping, the Saints' promising start feels like a distant memory. Asked, how far can the Packers go? The NFC North is proving to be one of the strongest divisions, and the Packers are emerging as serious contenders. Jordan Love is thriving, and their young roster is making strides. After a dominant win over the Cardinals, Green Bay is poised for a big showdown with Detroit in Week 9. This division is heating up. Answered. The Titans are in trouble. Tennessee is struggling, and watching Derrick Henry thrive in Baltimore only adds insult to injury. With a dismal 1-4 record and a lackluster offense, the Titans have a long road ahead. Will Levis's 95-yard performance against Indianapolis was less than inspiring, leaving fans wondering if this team can turn it around. Asked, is there any worse feeling than a touchdown negated by a flag? In a display of creativity, the Lions ran a lateral play that ended with tackle Penei Sewell nearly scoring. But, of course, a penalty wiped it out. This isn't just a one-time occurrence. Every week, we see incredible plays ruined by ticky-tack penalties. It's frustrating for fans and players alike. Answered. Washington shows there's life after bad ownership. With Daniel Snyder gone, the Washington franchise is finally showing signs of life. Despite a tough loss to Baltimore, the effort put forth is a far cry from the dysfunction of the past. There's renewed hope, and fans are feeling optimistic for the future. Asked, are the Bengals good, or just lucky? Cincinnati's win over the Giants raised more questions than answers. At 2-4, the Bengals have the talent but struggle to find consistency. With a dynamic QB receiver duo, they should be winning more games. It's a precarious balance they'll have to navigate moving forward. Answered. Should the Jaguars just stay in Europe? After another disappointing performance in London, the Jaguars might want to consider a permanent vacation. With the team struggling, it's a tough time for fans. Maybe a name change and a fresh start across the pond wouldn't be such a bad idea. NFL Power Rankings after Week 6. Can the Lions overcome Aiden Hutchinson's injury? The state of Michigan is reeling after a devastating injury to Aiden Hutchinson, a broken tibia and fibula that will be remembered as one of the worst in sports history. As a beloved hometown hero and Heisman Trophy finalist from the University of Michigan, Hutchinson's injury raises serious questions about the Lions' Super Bowl aspirations. Impact on the Lions' defense. Hutchinson was not only a frontrunner for NFL Defensive Player of the Year but also the cornerstone of an improving Lions defense. Without him, Detroit lacks a pass rusher of his caliber, and finding a replacement before the trade deadline will be a challenge. While the Lions boast a potent defense capable of outscoring many opponents, they'll need to rely even more heavily on it moving forward. If they fail to reach their first Super Bowl, they may look back at this injury as a pivotal moment in their season. Power rankings going into Week 7. San Francisco 49ers, dominating all aspects of the game. They remain the team to beat. Kansas City Chiefs, with Mahomes at the helm, they continue to find ways to win. Philadelphia Eagles, their balanced offense and strong defense keep them in the top tier. Miami Dolphins, high-powered offense that can explode on any given Sunday. Detroit Lions, a strong offense, but Hutchinson's absence puts a dent in their playoff hopes. Dallas Cowboys, a rough loss to the Lions has them reevaluating their defensive strategies. Buffalo Bills, showed resilience but need to tighten up defensively. Baltimore Ravens, a solid team that can compete with anyone when healthy. Cincinnati Bengals, starting to find their rhythm as Burrow gains confidence. Jacksonville Jaguars, inconsistent but capable of big wins. Conclusion. Week 6 brought both excitement and heartbreak. As teams gear up for the second half of the season, the Lions' journey will be particularly interesting to watch. Can they adapt and keep their Super Bowl dreams alive without Hutchinson? Share your thoughts below. NFL Week 6 blowouts, key takeaways and highlights. Week 6 of the NFL was anything but predictable, with 7 games decided by 14-plus points. Let's dive into the blowouts and what we learned about each team. Packers 34, Cardinals 13. What we knew. The Cardinals' defense is in a rebuild, struggling to find consistency. They allowed a staggering 55% success rate this week. What we learned. Jordan Love is emerging as an elite quarterback, with a significantly reduced sack rate and big play potential. His performance is proving the Packers' investment in him was wise. Buccaneers 51, Saints 27. What we knew. The Saints' offensive line is struggling, hampered by injuries and depth issues. What we learned. The Saints' defense collapsed spectacularly, allowing 4 touchdowns in the final 19 minutes. Rookie QB Spencer Rattler showed promise despite the chaos, making intriguing plays amid the turmoil. Lions 47, Cowboys 9. What we knew. The Cowboys' run defense is vulnerable against strong rushing teams, especially without Micah Parsons. What we learned. The Lions had a mission to embarrass the Cowboys, and they succeeded. This game exposed the disparity between the Cowboys and the top NFC teams, signaling a need for a roster overhaul. Bears 35, Jaguars 16. What we knew. The Jaguars are struggling and appear to have checked out this season. What we learned. Caleb Williams is developing quickly, showcasing his arm talent and playmaking ability. He's starting to look like the franchise QB he was touted to be. Texans 41, Patriots 21. What we knew. The Patriots are having a rough season, while the Texans are on the rise. What we learned. Drake May made his first start and injected some life into the Patriots' offense. Though it wasn't perfect, his athleticism offers a new dynamic for the team. Steelers 32, Raiders 13. What we knew. The Raiders are struggling and in desperate need of a reset. What we learned. The Steelers' offense found success, especially in the running game, taking advantage of the Raiders' defensive lapses. Falcons 38, Panthers 20. What we knew. The Panthers are in rough shape, while the Falcons can exploit weak defenses. What we learned. With Andy Dalton at QB, the Panthers are getting valuable looks at their offensive pieces. For the Falcons, a dominant rushing attack featuring Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier led the way to victory. Conclusion. Week 6 showcased a mix of expected and shocking performances, with several teams clearly on different trajectories. What stood out to you this week? Let us know in the comments. Bills vs. Jets. Monday Night Football recap. Buffalo edges New York 23-20. In a nail-biting matchup, The Buffalo Bills narrowly defeated the New York Jets, 23-20. On Monday Night Football, this game marked the Jets' first outing under interim coach Jeff Ulbrich after Robert Saleh's dismissal. And despite the new leadership, the team struggled to seize their chances. A defining moment for the Jets. If there was one play that encapsulated the Jets' tumultuous season, it was Mike Williams' fall that led to a game-clinching interception by Bills cornerback Taron Johnson. With a chance to propel the Jets into the red zone, Williams slipped while trying to make a play, allowing Johnson to swoop in. It was a heartbreaking reminder of the Jets' missed opportunities. Entering the game, the Jets knew the stakes. A victory would bring them to 3-3 and into first place in the AFC East, while a loss would leave them 2 games behind the Bills at 2-4. Even in mid-October, this felt like a must-win for a team in desperate need of a turnaround. Highlight plays and missed chances. Despite their struggles, the Jets showcased flashes of brilliance. Breece Hall broke out of his slump, and Garrett Wilson snagged a spectacular touchdown in the back of the end zone. The biggest moment came at the end of the first half when Aaron Rodgers launched a 52-yard Hail Mary to Allen Lazard, keeping the Jets competitive despite a dominant performance from Josh Allen. Allen delivered a stellar game with 3 touchdowns and crucial plays that kept the Bills ahead, including a breathtaking 42-yard completion to running back Ray Davis. Critical errors haunt the Jets. Even with a coaching shake-up, the Jets continued to shoot themselves in the foot. Key penalties nullified touchdowns, and kicker Greg Zuerlein missed 2 critical field goals, including one that hit the crossbar. These missteps overshadowed any potential for victory. While the Bills had their blunders, like missing an extra point, they ultimately capitalized when it mattered most, scoring a go-ahead field goal late in the fourth quarter. In a final push, the Jets had a chance to tie or win the game, but penalties and turnovers thwarted their efforts. An overturned fumble call and a defensive pass interference kept hope alive, but a holding penalty and Williams' interception sealed their fate. Conclusion: the Jets' continued struggles. Despite the change in leadership, the Jets' performance highlighted ongoing issues with execution and discipline. As they grapple with their mistakes, they face an uphill battle to turn their season around. What are your thoughts on the Jets' performance? Can they bounce back from this loss? Share your comments below.